Welcome to The Why. In our podcast, The Why, we're going to cover topics that are important to SAP customers and to our team. We want you to share this information internally. We want you to share this information outside of SAP Ariba. And we want you to be able to connect with other thought leaders in our business.
Today on our podcast, The Why, we're going to be exploring the world of business-to-business networks and the impact that's having on global companies. Joining us on our podcast, The Why, is Etosha Thurman, the leader of the Business Network Strategy Team at SAP Ariba. Etosha, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, John.
So let's just start with talking about why are business networks even important? I mean, this is obviously your area of expertise. You know, what are the mega trends or the big things you're seeing out there that are impacting our customers that we need to know about, whether it's related to sort of buying or shopping or risk or anything that's happening, tariffs, et cetera, sort of around the world. What are you seeing?
Well, John, I think there are several trends that we're seeing today in the marketplace. I think the first thing we have to do is acknowledge that, there's disruption happening. The best industry to look at disruption and sort of follow it through is the retail industry. In the last several years, the retail industry has faced major disruption, in particular from marketplaces and networks. And if you think that the retail space is 3.5 times smaller than business commerce, what we're finding is the same experience, the same visibility, transparency that we as consumers are looking for from B2B, our online marketplaces, is exactly what our buyer customers are starting to demand and expect from their suppliers. So
you're saying just how people shop and buy in their personal lives is how they want to make that happen in their business world.
Exactly. It's influencing the trends and the expectations of people in business because they are, at the end of the day, consumers as well.
Right. So
within procurement, we're seeing some interesting trends from our buyers. As an example, one of the first ones that everyone is experiencing are that procurement buyers are looking for an omni-channel experience. So when I started in my career as a buyer, I expected to meet my salesperson in face-to-face. All of our business was done directly, one-on-one. In today's world, buyers still want that one-on-one attention, but they want a similar experience, one that can provide the same type of feel and look as they have with direct interaction. So it's important that businesses have an omni-channel strategy where they can service their customers not just in direct interactions, but also online, whether that's in marketplaces, networks, or through their own branded sites.
That's fantastic. Can't wait for the day when I say that I want to actually go to work and buy something because it's easier than buying it at home.
That would be a great day. And speaking of, one of the other mega trends we're seeing is exactly that, a personalized buying experience. Buyers are wanting the same type of experience we have as a consumer. When I go to Amazon, when I go to jet.com, they know my previous purchases. They recommend purchases to me. Buyers want a similar experience. They want you to understand who they are. They want you to understand the characteristics of the spend that they want to apply to you, and they want to have a pleasant shopping experience.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So why would a business or why would our customers want to, use a network? I would imagine they've got relationships like you were just talking about. You had relationships as a category owner with your suppliers. Don't businesses have relationships with suppliers? What's the value of having a network, bring to them?
That's a great question. I think some of the things that they're looking for is efficiency in how they do business, right? What a network allows them to do is start to drive common practices across their supply base. It also helps them have and communicate expectations that they have. So, for instance, leveraging a network, a buyer can get better visibility into orders. Did you get the order? Are you going to fulfill the order?
Right.
Without a network, they have to do this individually amongst all of their thousands of suppliers. But leveraging a network, it brings better process, visibility, and transparency in their supply chain processes. And this is one of the biggest drivers for buyers among many.
All right. So do you see it really along the transparency of where stuff sits, or do networks provide other information or insights to the users and customers.
Absolutely. It is, part of it is transparency and where things sit, but part of it is also transparency in terms of the risk within their supply base. Being able to leverage a network, they are able to aggregate information about the suppliers in a way that they can't do without it.
Right.
So it helps them see the visibility of risk within their supply chain. It helps them with supply stability, right? So they can see, all right, I want to place this order today. Is it possible for this to meet not just my immediate need, but have better insight into longevity of supply? The other thing about leveraging a network is each buyer customer brings their own community,
Right.
to the fold. But what
Right.
the network does is it opens up to a larger community because it's the collective.
Right.
So it gives them a bigger pool, a bigger opportunity to have their needs met from a broader supply base.
Gotcha. So what advice would you give our customers, or what have you told our customers who have asked about not only our network, but just other networks? It can be pretty complex, right?
Yep.
Because you talked about retail. I'm assuming the same sits for, MRO or any direct materials, et cetera. The world's pretty big and it gets split and bifurcated pretty quickly. As a customer is getting started with this, what should they begin to look at?
Sure. I think for the first, I'm going to address it on both customer sides. I'll start with the buyer customer. From
Sure.
a buyer customer, my advice would be leverage the network to help you have a robust supply chain, right? Of course, bring your preferred suppliers, because when networks started, the goal was, let me get transparency and efficiency. And all of those things are great. But the opportunity, the value that the network brings has expanded so much so. Let the network help you not just transact with your supply, but help you manage your supplier master data information, help you get
Sure.
visibility into the risk within your supply chain, help your suppliers be more efficient. So look at the network not so much as an engine to drive your transactions, but a way to collaborate with your supply chain for visibility, for experience, for efficiency.
Gotcha.
On the seller side, though,
Yep.
I would talk about the fact that our customers' expectations are not going to change. They're only going to increase.
Sure.
We didn't touch at all about the things that are happening with artificial intelligence and big data, but the more customers know about their businesses, the more they expect you to know. And one of the best things that a network does for a supplier customer is it gives you the platform for managing those expectations from technology, from insight, without you having to invest directly in that. Like, buyers are not going to go back and not want
Right.
visibility into risk, visibility into inventory, visibility into confirmation. Those expectations are only going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking about networks as a way to become a foundation for how you manage your customers in the future is one value proposition that a lot of seller customers don't think about. And then once you just have that foundational layer there, so I exist in this network, I can manage my customers, I can meet some of the technology and insight needs, then you can really look at it also as a platform for omni-channel strategy, for lead development, for differentiating yourself
Yep.
above and beyond other suppliers out there.
Right. So is that why Arriba and our network is a good fit, or what makes Arriba a good fit for a buyer and a supplier?
It's a great question, and I'm absolutely biased here.
Certainly.
But Arriba Network is the world's largest global commerce network with 3.6 million entities doing business across the network to a tune of $2.3 trillion a year. And it's not just about the transactions. Our network facilitates everything from supplier registration, contract collaboration, sourcing events, purchase order, delivery, confirmation, goods receipts, early payment. We cover the gamut. Our goal is to help businesses connect to a global ecosystem, to help them promote their needs or their goods or services, to help them transact efficiently with their business partners, to help find or support ways to fund business activities when needed, and ultimately to provide insight so that our customers can be best run. No other network does that.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. Well, listen, there's some great facts, some great information. We appreciate you joining us today on our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
The Why. You really helped expose how the world is changing and how business networks are changing how business actually gets done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our podcast, The Why, is put together by the People First team. We'll be producing The Why on a regular basis. If you have recommendations for topics, please contact the People First team. And please share this podcast with other members of our team or even outside our team. Thank you for listening to The Why.